Hello everyone and welcome back to a new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2016. First off, let me point you down below. What do you see? 235 points. Finally, I was able to qualify for day 1 of the TCG. Now, it's not that I was doing bad at tournaments and therefore I wasn't getting points. It's literally because there weren't any tournaments. Since City Championships finished in early January, there had not been a tournament until this past weekend, on the 19th of March. I was able to get top 8 at a regional. Unfortunately, my run ended there, but those 75 points made it so that I am a guaranteed day 1 invite for the TCG Worlds. Now, our road for TCG definitely doesn't stop there though, because my goal is to play in both TCG and VGC Worlds. Now, how can I do that if they go on at the same time? Well, my whole idea is to qualify directly for day 2 in the TCG, and then that will allow me to play day 1 of VGC and then day 2 of TCG. So, and as far as I know, I'm the only player, the only Masters player in the whole world that is currently qualified for both tournaments. So I'd say that's a pretty big achievement. Honestly, I would not have been able, like, starting YouTube and everything has allowed me to really be consistent with testing and practicing and all of that. So, like, part of what I have achieved so far, I owe it to you guys, because you guys support me, you guys watch the videos, you guys enjoy the content, and it's really been a great ride. Honestly, it's really been a great ride. I'm really happy that I started doing YouTube, and I'm not gonna stop. So thank you guys. I owe this success to you guys for sure, 100% sure, and I'm really happy I was able to accomplish this. Now, I'm torn here as to what to discard. There's a Lampent in my hand. There's a Pumpkaboo, so 3-1-1, 3-2-2, 4-2-2, 4-3-2, 4-3-3, and 4-4. Okay, so all 4 Night Marchers are available. There's one DCE. There's a second DCE, I have one in play. There seems to be one double colorless energy priced. I think that's the most important thing I have to check for. I'm gonna play this Trainer's Mail. Another compressor would be amazing. I don't. I get an Acrobike. I could get the Zerosic, actually. Could get the Zerosic to remove that Spirit Link, but I'm gonna go with the Acrobike because I feel like I have a decent shot to one-hit KO this Yveltal in this turn, which will definitely put him a turn behind. Now with the Acrobike, I'm gonna keep the Trainer's Mail. That digs a little deeper through my deck than the Acrobike and gives me a shot. Well, I am able to pick up a Sycamore, which is obviously great, and guarantees that I will discard this Lampent. Now I would love to see another compressor over here. No compressor, but another Joltik, which means more Night Marcher. I also get the pile compressors, so there's currently 3 Night Marchers in my discard pile. That's 60 damage. Plus the 2 I'm gonna discard with Sycamore, that's 100. Plus these 3 Night Marchers I'm about to discard right now. That means I'm going to have... Now the question is, do I discard Pumpkaboos or Joltiks? I'm gonna discard a Joltik right now. So I guess I'll discard 2 Pumpkaboos and a Joltik. This means I'm going to get the turn 1 KO, which I'm pretty happy about, not gonna lie. Like, Night March is so strong because it seems like even if you go second, you have a really good shot at winning games, like just outright winning games. Gonna bench this next Joltik. I'm just gonna make sure I have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 160 plus the 10 from the Fighting Fury belt. That is enough. And I will attach the Floatstone to the Shaman. I'm gonna conserve the rest of my cards for now. There's really no need for me to do anything else. And I'm gonna get this KO onto Yveltal. So honestly, that's probably the most ideal start you could hope for. I do free my DCE off of my prices, but having all 3 DCs in my hand kind of clutters what I'm getting right now. Like, my middle game is going to stutter a bit because of the fact that I don't think I can afford to just Sycamore away 2 DCs. I need to get them into play, and there's another issue here. He could put me to sleep, and if I don't wake up, then we might have an issue. Like, that could potentially put my opponent back into the game, but it's only a 25% chance of that happening. He has to flip heads, and then I have to flip tails. So it's 2 50-50s. He has to get in his favor in order to not lose this upcoming turn, or he can Mega Evolve and potentially survive, because he has 220 HP. So yeah, without Muscle Band, there is no way I can deal that much damage, which means I'm gonna counter Stadium his Forest of Giant Plants. I'm gonna use the Compressor just to thin out my deck a bit further. I'm not gonna discard any more Night Marchers because I don't really need to. I'm gonna get rid of the Xerosic because I don't think it's gonna be useful. What else could I get rid of? The other Battle Compressor, I don't think it's gonna be useful. And I guess the Megaphone. The Megaphone seems like a good idea because I've already KO'd one Sceptile EX, he already has a Mega Sceptile EX, so the odds of him getting a third one are not too high, I guess. He only deals 100 damage, so even my Shaman EXs are safe here from getting KO'd, since he has no way to increase the damage output, and at most, and he cannot Giovanni, Scheme, and Lysandre in the same turn. He could Pokemon Catcher and Giovanni Scheme the same turn, but it's not likely. And he's shown us. So if he gets another Sceptile powered up, he might be able to do something here interesting. But it's not looking too likely, honestly. It's really not looking too likely. Pretty content with the position I'm in, and really glad with how this game is going, because I started recording like a half an hour earlier, and the 3 games I tried recording, one of them, my opponent auto-conceded. The next one, my opponent was doing one of those random PTCGO challenges, so he was running a Togekiss deck, which didn't even use any energy. So that really put me in a bad mood, that I wasted so much time, and I was speaking and saying, oh no, Togekiss is a threat and blah blah, and its ability is interesting, and he never really had anything too serious. And yeah. Okay, so he's gonna get this KO. He benches a Malamar, which thankfully won't put my Pokemon to sleep. And now I really want another Joltik, because I don't want my attacks to be resisted. But honestly, at this point, it's a 2-for-1 trade-off every time. Like, for every price he takes, I take 2. So we're in an amazing position. I don't know what's taking so long. I really don't know what's taking so long. Yeah, okay, he was thinking about who to attach the energy to. For some reason, he chose Shaman. And now, I would love to get a Sycamore here, perhaps, or a Lysandre maybe. I do top deck the versus Seeker, which is fortunate. I do have the Lysandre. So there are 2 things I can do here. I can take the KO on Sceptile, or I can take the KO on Malamar to avoid any weird sleep flips, or I can take the KO onto Shaman. Now, he did remove one of my DCEs. I think I'm better off attacking with Pumpkaboo, just to make sure he cannot get the KO with Shaman on me and next turn. Force him to use Malamar, and wow, the game is lagging so much. I have no idea why. I really have no idea why. I am sorry about this, guys. I don't know what is going on. There we go. I think I'm better off just KOing the Mega Yveltal. That's the bigger threat right now. It's the only thing he has powered up. There's no point in doing anything else. I will most likely be able to get another Puzzle of Time eventually, in case I need it, in case I need like to get back a Fighting Fury belt, or I need a TC and a Lysandre to finish the game, something like that. But this is really, really lagging. Okay, there we go. Get this KO into Mega Yveltal, get our next 2 prizes, and unless my opponent pulls off something really sketchy, we should have the win at this point. 100%. Top deck, top professor letter apparently. So it's at points like this where you wonder, why don't your opponents concede and just save yourself some time? He played a Pokemon fan club, so he's not gonna judge me, and therefore I have a guarantee of the last DCE to simply get Joltik to KO this Malamar. Now I guess the only thing that could delay this game would be him attaching an energy, putting me to sleep, flipping 2 tails, and me not waking up. But the odds of that are a 12.5% chance that the game lasts for another turn because of the 2 flips and then the sleep flip. But yeah, I mean, my opponent is just, I don't know why he's doing all of these things. Like, seriously, what's the point of doing this? I will never ever understand. I mean, if the game is early and you're still 6-6 and things like that, I always tell you guys not to concede, because you can come back. But at this point, I mean, just look at what my opponent has. Well, he doesn't know I have the last double colorless in my hand, I guess. That's all he has going for him. That's really all he has. 170 HP. I know there are 9 Night Marchers in my deck, in my discard pile, sorry. So I'll just Night March for the game here. 200 damage, our last 2 prizes, and that's the game. So yeah, that's the power of Night March. The game literally lasted 3 turns. I attacked 3 times, took all 6 prizes in those 3 turns, and that was it. And I don't know, in that deck, I guess, I don't know, Yveltal seems a bit too, I'm not gonna say slow, but it seems like its damage output, like Manectrics and things like that, is a bit limited in terms of, I mean, Mega Yveltal X cannot even KO Shamans, which is something you almost always want to take advantage of, because of the fact that you're trading non-EXs for EXs. So you at least want to try and get an EX for EX trade out of it. Oh, I'm sorry guys. So another Shaman start, not ideal, but we also got a Shaman start last time and didn't really matter too much. Unfortunately though, our hand is not looking too great. Teammates is a really good card, but not if you open with it. And we are up against a Greninja deck, so we will see. I mean, I believe this matchup, in theory, favors Night March because of your speed. But there's no guarantee. Like, if I didn't get such an atrocious start, I believe I would have a really decent shot at KOing that. At KOing that Froakie right now. But because now I even have a DC in my discard pile, and okay, I managed to snag an Ultra Ball to hopefully get me into this game. So I'm gonna Ultra Ball away the teammates and the Megaphone. I'm gonna get another Shaman. And yeah, there's no way I can KO the Froakie, is there? So I guess I'm gonna have to attach the TC to Shaman. No point in playing the Puzzle of Time right now. Really no point. Because I could have saved the TC, but Well, I mean, I still wouldn't have gotten the floatstone to retreat, and I don't even have a single night marcher in my prices. So, is it worth using Puzzle of Time? I guess I will use it. Gonna rearrange my top decks, and wow. Okay, I guess I'll keep this Erosic because I can use that to remove the special water. But things are not looking good at all. For sure, things are not looking good. Gonna deal 30 damage to this Froakie. It's really underwhelming, to be honest. And I guess I have to promote Pumpkaboo. I could have promoted the Shaman and hoped to hit the Fighting Fury belt to get a KO on the Frogadier. But I don't know. Things are not looking great. I mean, against that deck, you definitely need to guarantee you get a KO every single turn, because of the fact that with Greninja Break, he can easily get KOs on you. So I don't know. It's gonna be a difficult match unless he whiffs the Frogadier. But he gets another Ultra Ball. He has 4 energy in the discard, which is also potentially good. But there's a Frogadier, so we are in a lot of trouble, guys. In a lot of trouble. And not even the Erosic is going to help me. At least one Frogadier seems to be prized, so I guess if I'm able to... Okay, do I want to give him back a Froakie? I guess I do, just because I'll get an extra card off of the Shaman. And if I KO this Frogadier, he'll only have access to 2 Greninjas potentially. So problem is I need 100% to get a battle compressor. Otherwise, I don't think we're gonna do much. And man, I knew Lampent and Sycamore were coming. And wow, why does this happen? It doesn't matter, because if I keep the Sycamore, I'm still gonna have to discard the TC. Ugh, this is this is so frustrating. This is so freakishly frustrating. I mean, I have Very Secret to recover the Sycamore, but the TC is going to discard anyways, and I'm going to do literally 0 damage. 2 turns where I could have taken prizes, and I'm gonna do 0 damage with Night March. That happens, what, 1% of the time? Ridiculous. And now I'm going to lose Pumpkaboo, for sure. I will only have Shamans, and I will have 3 double colorless energy in my discard pile. How do you beat a Greninja deck with Night March with only 1 double colorless energy? That's going to be impossible. Absolutely impossible. Unless he somehow doesn't get Greninjas out this turn, I really think I'm going to concede here. I really think the only possible thing to do for me right now is to concede, because it happens, guys. It really does. And it happens to me so often. Anyways. Oh boy. Wow, he just passes. He doesn't even use Abyssal Hand, and I top deck a Trainer's Mail. I guess I'll keep the Ultra Ball so that I can deal 20 fabulous damage by discarding the Lampent and the Dimension Valley. And do I go for a Shaman to try and get something going? Because I really don't want to discard. No, I don't know. I mean, because whatever I do bench is at risk of Greninja's abilities as well. But I have to. I mean, I have Puzzle of Time, right? That could mean I can get back DCEs. and it looks like he's a bit on the slow end as well. For some reason, he didn't use Auxiliary, but this Sycamore definitely hurts. And okay, finally I get a Battle Compressor, so I'll be able to get Night Marchers into my discard pile to do some damage, and I definitely want the Hex Maniac there. Or do I? Can I afford to make my Versus Seekers Hex Maniacs? Probably not. And I guess Joltik has less HP, so I'm gonna have to rely solely on Pump Caboose. I'm going to Ultra Ball, get rid of the other Lampent, and I will get another Pump Caboose, 100% sure. I do have a Stadium, I do have an Acrobike, so I guess now I'm finally in an okay-ish position. But in order to get back into this game, and wow, I definitely should have discarded the Hex Maniac, I guess. I'm going to do that. Okay, so I have an opportunity to discard the Hex Maniac. I'm gonna keep the Compressor, but I'm not gonna use it just yet. And finally, on turn 3, I get my first KO. It's really ironic. Like, you think of the previous turn, I got a turn 1 170 damage KO on a Yveltal EX, and the game lasted 3 turns. And here, I wasn't able to attack until the 3rd turn. So definitely quite polarizing setups, you know. And that's the nature of Pokemon TCG. I mean, sometimes you run well, sometimes you run bad, and you gotta do your best to maximize like your potential. I didn't give up right away because I saw him just draw pass the previous turn. But what is taking him or her so long to select who to promote? I mean, and he has Auxiliary. I'm pretty sure he didn't use Auxiliary last turn. I might be wrong though, but he didn't play anything and he only had 4 cards in his hand. So I would imagine he did not play Auxiliary. Now, here I do have the option to Lysandre and KO another Frogadier, because I can get rid of the Lysandre through Battle Compressor. And I think that might be my best play, because Auxiliary is obviously a non-factor. Auxiliary provides him resources, but wow, he doesn't do anything. And I top deck the Lysandre. So I'm not even gonna think about it. And yeah, wow. I have no idea. Well, I do know why we won this game, because my opponent drew worse than I did, which is really surprising given how bad our first couple of turns started out. And yeah, that will conclude today's video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I know this were the most exciting couple of videos, or a couple of games rather. But it's the nature of this deck. Either you win really fast, or it becomes a really close game where you have to guarantee you have your double colorless energy, and it's a really scrappy exchange of KO, 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 no matter against what deck you're up against. And then there's this kind of games where people draw dead and there's nothing you can do about it. So that will be all. Hope to see you guys tomorrow in the Spanish video. Leave a like if you can, it really supports the channel. And if not, I will see you on Friday for our last day of this Neo Night March deck. Alright, thank you guys, and bye bye.